You on Twitter?
Nah, I don't
Bruh.
I'm not.
You see, so the boy who just passed, Kevin
Oh,
Kevin
man.
Samuels.
Yeah.
Bro, they fried the man on Twitter.
Oh, man.
Fried him. Like, bro, they made memes about the man because one of his things was when he would talk to a woman and they'll give their credentials or whatever, or men because he talked to men too.
Oh, really?
He would, I watched the show.
He talked to men too?
Yeah, it was
What do you
dudes.
mean on as far as commentary?
Yeah.
Oh, not personal life, like I mess with him.
No,
Okay.
not like that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, he was popular for quote unquote
Hey, I seen
critiquing
this
black
shit a couple
women.
times. I seen
You know
this
what I'm
shit.
saying? But he had these kind of same conversations with black men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But one of the things he would say is, "This you're average at best."
Right.
So they were like making memes of like him in heaven looking around and was like, "Jesus, I mean, it's nice, but this is average at best."
Oh.
I'm like, bro, how y'all? You know what I'm saying? But not just that. They were like, "Yeah, you deserve that. You gonna sit up here and disrespect women and this, that." And I'm like, yo, that's like low.
It's not even low. I think people, it just goes to show you just how much people revere and fear the truth.
Agree.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of the parts that I've seen, his delivery was terrible. But the hardcore message
Was real.
was just that hard. I mean, if you really want to get some growth, sometimes the first step is acknowledgement.
That's
and
real.
It goes to, dudes, to the men. It's like, you really can't be so upset if you not there. Now, a lot of times there are individuals and obstacles in the way, but can you really go to sleep at night and say, I fought tooth and nail to, try to make something happen, try to make it work.
Yeah.
And along the way, if you fought tooth and nail, you're going to have paperwork, you're going to have documentation, text messages. It's going to be a war report of your work, how you really worked hard to try to make, to not even men, just get that time in.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is like,
I mean, for me though, bro, like I said, I watched a lot of his shows.
Yeah.
And I was just curious. I'm like, this man came out of nowhere like a lightning bolt. You know what I'm saying? All over critiquing this woman.
Yeah.
And it was like, how dare he talk to her? How dare he talk to her? I'm like, yo, there's no way in hell that this man, I'm sorry. There's no way that this man is making a whole show off of disrespecting women because of, like you said, his delivery was borderline disrespectful, if not disrespectful, right?
What's the name from Charleston or Mr. Charleston or something? He's from Texas. He did the same thing as Kevin Samuels, and both of them late. Kevin and Charleston late because Corey been doing that since like.
But Corey do it with comedy.
Yeah, with
And
comedy.
he'll make you laugh.
Yeah,
But he's saying the same thing.
He's saying the same thing.
thing.
With comedy, but Kevin Samuels, I think his approach was.
But you
He
can
was
tell anybody
serious.
anything, and if you can make them laugh,
Right. You can say, but his thing was
It's not
you
what
talking.
you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah,
Of course, of course.
And so
And
I think his angle was, I'm like, it was a serious tone.
bruh, I respect
There was no
and
laugh.
like Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, I think he
Only because I would. Why you say I would? Why do you say I would?
I think he spoke some he spoke some truth.
See?
It's no different than women speaking their truth. You can only speak. You know what I mean? It's what? It's three sides, right? It's a real absolute truth, your side and the other side. That's it. So
Yeah, I
if
mean-
you gonna speak on how they spoke and whatever you gonna say here. Oh, you didn't let me see him. Oh, you didn't pick up the phone.
I look at
Didn't
it.
say I didn't call. I got a call log 25 times. So my truth is I called 25 times. You said you ignored me because of whatever reason. Truth is both of those happen.
Yeah.
That's the whole truth. So, I mean,
I think a lot of his messaging, bruh, touched on people who were not in tune with reality.
But he hurt people's feelings
Because people aren't in tune with reality.
Hit dog will howl.
That's why
And
I love him.
That's my country cousin.
That's
say
why
that.
I love him.
My country cousin.
I ain't gonna say I love
say
him,
that.
but that's why I like him.
I
don't like him,
So
boy.
if it's
It's
on
like
the
I
body,
don't
you
know
can
it,
talk
so
all the
either way.
smack you want to about
Come on, man.
Minutemen and can't work
Come on,
Bill and ain't got this and ain't take care, but if none of that applies to me,
Why would you be offended?
I don't care.
I'm
I
not
be like,
offended
you
by
right.
anything of that he said, because I don't care about him one way or other. Like, my feelings towards Kevin is neutral, like straight up neutral. Like,
I just don't like the
when
fact
I heard
that you
that
was
he
like.
passed, I literally was.
I just don't like the fact
I
that
thought
you
it was
like
sad.
you would. I felt like it was
I
sad.
thought it was sad.
I like somebody who's
I
gonna
was in Puerto
speak
Rico,
truth.
so I was like, give me another shot.
Oh yeah, you was. You
Yeah,
was.
he just
He was
got
in a
some
whole nother world.
traction. He was really starting to get, I mean, people not.
Man, they got a clip of a pastor dissing this man,
Wow.
talking about you out here telling women they ain't qualified, they average at best, and this
And
and
pastors do
that,
the same
and then
thing.
when you leave this earth, you talking about a high value man, but your family gotta get a GoFundMe to bury you, and you supposed to be a high value man. They was like,
Man,
don't
it's
listen
kinda
to
true.
that.
No,
Trust
it's not,
God.
because a high
And
value man is all about your mind.
A high value man also knows that he has to have his finance and everything in order, so when he leaves this world, he doesn't have to put that burden on somebody else. Life insurance is easy to get.
Yeah, life insurance is easy.
Like, and if you're in that position, you should have
least-
that.
At least
If
have
you're,
life insurance.
especially
Right.
if you're critiquing
I'm not
others.
coming against you and saying that I disagree, but my thing is, as a pastor, how does that get people closer to God?
It definitely.
It don't.
I don't agree with that.
Come on, man. It's like, bro, this is what you chose to go to church and talk
You know
about.
what that was? I want to stay relevant, and it was a reach.
Yeah.
He was trying to reach.
Long
It
reach.
was a long reach to connect with a part of his congregation that probably he has nothing in common with. Because if you go straight out the Bible, you only going to grip a certain amount of people. But if you start talking about current events that you really don't identify with, you probably should have left that for Sunday school
Oh,
or
no.
Bible study.
Or
just
sit
think
down
current
conversations with women who felt like they weren't basically having a conversation with the women who Kevin Samuels was talking to.
Right.
Because you don't know if anybody in your congregation was a part of the Kevin Samuels audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And like, this, I was about to say something before I interrupted. I just feel like the man talked to not just women, but people who had unrealistic expectations. And that's why I say, like, I'm 5'8", 245, bro. Understandably, I believe in me. I like me. I love me. I also know that I'm going to the gym as much as I can because I want to tone up, tighten up, and do all these extra things. But I would be stupid to say I can't find love if I'm only looking for Rihanna's.
Right. Well, I think it comes back to this. Like, you were saying that he spoke to people who have unrealistic expectations, but I feel like that's all based on your own perception of what you can do. Because at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want to if you have the discipline to cut everything. That be the thing. That means you gotta cut out chilling with the homies and all of that. It means you gotta cut out the whatever it is. And if you focus, you'll be surprised what you can get done. Because
Of course.
a lot of people before us have acquired 10 times
More with 10 times less. Yeah, true.
So to say that it's not possible, no, it's just the average person don't really want to work.
Right. And that's what
Everybody want that scratch off.
And it's okay to say, like, I feel like even as much as I love me and love where I'm at and where I'm going, I'm still honest with myself as far as if I'm looking for love,
Right.
where I'm gonna look for it at. I'm not
Take a
gonna go.
self-assessment.
But a lot of people don't do that, bruh. Yep, yo, you see what it is, man. It's your boy Kozzie in the building. We up, still the gang of the show. It's Kozzie and Quadir. It's Minority Report. It's just the first episode, man. We coming in hot. Stay tuned. Salute. To me, that whole idea, like I said, though, I just think that was crazy how people were celebrating, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this somebody's child.
I mean, at the end of the day, we all. What's the quote? Disclaimers. But your boy said, man, he people die every day, B.
Yeah, I say that. Did I just say that yesterday?
So, I mean,
I just said that yesterday, didn't I?
As sad as it is, killer season, right? Like you said.
Yeah, niggas die every day, B. Like,
Every day.
it doesn't change, man.
I mean, that's not. It doesn't mean that. I think to me, that's just a desensitized way to deal with, death. Like, just to not care, just to gloss over. There's a lot of people who really do feel that way, but.
Cause that's a whole life.
That was actually paid for, not killer season.
You sure? It was paid.
It was painful.
Okay.
Yeah, it was painful.
But yeah, that is I don't know, man. I don't have nothing to do with none of that. People feel how they want to feel. And so I mean, it's just so much. Like, it's even, I just be having these situations where it's like I can't really even entertain a lot of the discussions that people bring up because they really don't. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but
Right.
you don't even have the prerequisites for the discussion. How you gonna talk to me about, taking care of this or taking care of that? And like it was mentioned earlier, you have no idea about what a trust is. What are you talking about? You really don't. You gotta start. You need to go back, take some time, learn some stuff before you start opening up and doing this brain mouth vomit thing. Like, everybody just feel like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, you can say whatever you want to say. Really don't have no validity with me.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is crazy, bro. What did I see the other day? An old head said this, bro. He was like, everybody got so much to say because everybody talking about everybody. He said, if you gonna talk to me about yourself. Let's see how long the conversation lasts.
Or for me, it's like when people give stories, and this is what I've learned, even especially when talking to people who are in rough relationship situations, it's on the rocks. You want to air out everything they did, and it's like, are you looking for sympathy? Are you looking for a pity party? Because if you really want some growth, or you want me to give an honest opinion, tell me what your contribution to the situation was, right? And that's hard. Yeah, yo. This is a lot more so. Well, I'm gonna just say everybody, but me being a man talking to other dudes about their situations, I'd be like, well, dude, I give them wasn't you at the club last night, and wasn't it like that wasn't the same shorty that was in your crib when you left the club? Like, it's, if we're gonna have a real conversation.
Right.
Now, if we just, it don't matter, then it don't matter. Like, I don't care, you a grown man, do what you want to do. But if you really you gonna ask me like, man, and you crying and all that, and I don't know why this, first of all, was you even coming correct in the first place? Or was you really doing you, and you just got upset because you discovered she was doing her? Now you hurt. That's not how the game goes.
I mean, most of the time that's the case though, man. I mean, just being as an honest man, we some softies.
Well, you not. I mean, if you mean being an honest man as far as like talking about the topic.
That particular situation, bro, like,
so most people aren't honest people because they're not honest with themselves to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, like, I know I've been played. I know I've been cheated on. You know what I'm saying?
And you know all the dirt you done put out there in the universe.
I know that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, bad things happen to good people, but
it still hurt. It still hurt.
Well, that to me, if you was wise, and what I mean by wise is if you learn from your mistakes, you would check yourself like, you know what? I would, go out here and take this advance as far as this female trying to holler at me or make herself available. But I know I'm in a situation. So either one, I need to make this hard phone call or go see, or, depending on circumstance, you may not, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, you can't go see the person first. You at the shorty crib, but you might have to, it's kind of foul, but get on the phone and say, hey, man, I just want to let you know, well, we need to talk. I mean, I think that conversation needs to be had, and a lot of times it should be had beforehand rather than after the fact, because I feel like people put themselves in the position and they have the thought first, then they put you have the thought, you done already thought, yeah, I'm gonna go out tonight.
and then you get with your girls, and then y'all go out with your boys, and y'all go out, and then something happens. The whole time you know you in a situation, you not single, you in something going on. So why, like, you need to already check, but you be messy. That's the whole thing with being messy. Like, you know, you shouldn't even be out here. You should not even be.
I mean, like you said though, that take a different level of maturity, a different level of growth, and like
Different
you know
level
what
of
I'm saying?
hurt. That's what's driven me. Hurt when you really tore down and you were destroyed. I mean, some people get pushed to that point where they feel like it ain't worth it no more. They just want to close their eyes and not wake up. That experience, a person will come out of that. This is what I think is wild. A person will come out of that experience and then try to fornicate their way out of the situation rather than deal with the growth.
See, now I knew you was going there, right? Real talk. So it depends on the person. It depends on the upbringing, and it depends on, like you said, like one thing I've always known about you, bro. And I mean, even when we was talking the other day, you was talking about your level of discipline. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where you get that from, but I can tell you my upbringing.
Right.
That wasn't a primary factor.
Right.
That's something that I try to implement into myself. But because when you younger, you don't realize that you're disciplined or not disciplined. You just out here wilding, and you don't even realize, you literally following in the same footsteps of the people who came before you and your family, right?
Right.
So, but
to an extent,
huh?
To an extent, because we I think we're at, our age group. I'm 38, so I feel like we're that transition. We was here to see. We got to see. We experienced as far as communication. We was a part of the writing letters. We used to write notes in school.
Yeah, and now we a part of the text.
Now we part of the text,
right,
and the email, and all of that. So everything is instant. Used to be, I had to wait until 3rd, 4th, 5th, almost after school before I got a circle yes or no on whether or not we kicking.
True,
now
I'm with that.
It's an instant, and I get a picture, and I get a video. It's fast on everything. Is watching the movie on fast forward, and so I just think that we're in a situation where we came up under, depending if you listen or not, under a different set of rules. It used to be, hey, I'm gonna just check this dude on, people forget, on GP, on general principle. I'm gonna check you because you violating. And it's no different than, hey, I may not come from that upbringing, but I would listen to the OGs. That was the whole thing. The people, it seemed like there was a time where we knew that there were people who were older than us that would give us wisdom. And they're like, listen, man, don't go that way. Don't go down that block.
That's what I was gonna say. And I can only speak for self.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I had none of that. None of that.
No big homies.
You know what I'm saying? Like, on real talk.
No uncles, no cousins.
Bruh, I'm telling you, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, coming from P-Town, right? 252. Like, I've learned to grow and not point fingers and say it's your fault that I'm this way, or you know what I'm saying. As I've gotten older, I've become more accountable for my decisions and my choices. But in my younger years, not acknowledging the choices that I made it easier for me to make those mistakes again, because even with the consequences that came from it, it was like, you know what, cool, I slipped up, boom, life goes on. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Because I thought you was special because you ain't get jammed up.
I mean, even in situations when I got jammed up,
you still ain't.
I'm hard-headed. Right. You know what I'm saying? I come from a hard-headed background where, on God, bro, like you said, we both 38.
Right.
Respect to my pops to the best degree in which I can give it to him. But about 5 years ago, my pops, the man who shot me out, right, called me, and he thought he had a kid on the way. He was like, yo, I need help with this parenting thing.
Okay.
My pops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know why he asked you that, though?
Because he see what I'm doing and how I do it when it comes to my kids.
And the times has changed.
Not even. No,
You don't think
trust
so?
me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, no. I do the times have definitely
Right.
changed. But it was because throughout his 50 years of living, he never was a father.
Oh,
he never did the father thing.
Absentee, always at home. But what do you mean? Like, give me some
Career criminal.
Gotcha.
I'm born in '83. His rap sheet go back to '82.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
A level of selfishness that presented itself to the degree that,
just
yo, I
don't
really
care.
want to do right, but I just don't know how. I'm hard headed.
Yeah.
In and out of prison, on and off of drugs. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
mean,
it is
that-
what
and
it is,
that-
and I
that-
don't knock my pops
Yeah,
because as
you
I
have
grew
to
older,
understand, right? You
as I grew
understood
older, I gained a better understanding
of
as
why
a child.
right? Why was
I'm
this
like,
so
yo,
big?
what is this, bro? Like, yo, please come to my football game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're like, I
but
gotta
as
get this
a
money.
man and now as a parent father, it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? I make the best decisions that I can for my kids. I love them to death.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To life or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, there's no manual that comes with this parenting game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I used to think like, and I mean, I feel like I'm all over the place, but I used to think that, yo, if I'm doing what I'm doing and my kids know I love them, I'm good. It's not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The same way when you dealing with somebody, like you meet a partner or a significant other, and you have to learn how to love them, you really got to learn how to love your kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? We get so caught up in this whole parental aspect of, I know what's right.
Especially when it wasn't a planned situation.
That too.
I think for me, and I'm kind of speaking code word for obvious reasons.
For sure.
When it's a surprise situation and you still stand up and take care of your responsibilities, you still kind of in shock. It's somewhat of a trauma, at least for myself, and I don't know if other men can identify, but you're still somewhat.
I have PTSD from being a dad.
I ain't gonna say PTSD.
No, I have it. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna say there's some shock trauma going on because you're like, okay, there's a fear, right? Because we have been programmed to think I gotta have all my ducks in a row,
right,
in order to, handle my business. I don't want to, I don't necessarily get along with the maternal side of the game, but I'm still going to be here and be present and hold down my responsibility. And just those things alone, a lot of dudes ain't doing. But if you doing all of that, it's still like my whole life has changed. I have to sacrifice everything. And that's whether you want to or not. Some dudes have a hard time letting go because that was never a part of the game plan.
right.
And so even if, I don't know if dudes is up here going, without contraceptives or whatever their situation is, or why they in the situation that they in, or they got trapped or whatever, regardless, it's done. But you do feel like you were ripped out of
what you thought
your-
you had planned.
your bachelor,
Yeah.
your bachelorism
Yeah.
or whatever. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
feel
and
like,
but that's a
I
hard
wasn't-
adjustment. Like I'm gonna tell you, that's a hard turn.
But it's-
when you have a visual for yourself, right? You know what I mean? And I'm always speaking for me. When you have a visual for yourself, and like you mentioned,
What I'm gonna do.
where
I'm
they
gonna
say when
be.
when you make plans, God laughs.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when you start thinking to yourself like, yo, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then, like you said, an unexpected situation that, as a man, you're really responsible for presents itself, and all of what you thought you were going to do, now you have to either put on the back burner or figure out a whole nother way to do it. It really, any person who isn't weak-minded or isn't strong-minded, it's going to be difficult for them to transition.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the situation I'm in right now, it was difficult for me to transition. You know what I mean? I think that I'm slowly getting to a better place, but it wasn't easy for me. You know what I mean? But it took for me to sit with self and be responsible and talk. I talk to myself in ways that, if these walls had cameras, they'd be like, bro, this nigga is crazy.
He
off his
ain't
rock.
got it. He ain't
You
got it
know
all
what
the
I'm
way
saying?
there. It ain't.
You know what I mean? But those are the best conversations because I gotta make sure that I check myself.
Yeah, I mean, you just unpacking you trying to unpack some stuff.
You know what I mean?
That way, when you go, when you step outside your crib, all right, I got my thoughts together, right? I'm not just going, I know this is close to my heart. that's over there. I mean, as men, we compartmentalize that. That's
Right.
that's how we're. I don't know if it's programmed that way or whatever, but I think men typically or traditionally can deal with life by compartmentalizing. There are a lot of brothers out here who are in touch with their more emotional and get the emotional aspects
Right.
of life and see life in different colors and shades.
Right,
There's
right.
always going to be exceptions to the rule, but I think for the average brother, yeah, I mean, I think that they can definitely identify with that and say, yeah, you know, I do be talking to myself too, whether it's they girl in the crib or not. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this brother is crazy. He ain't rap too tight. This is how we deal with it. Cause guess what? We didn't come up with go see a therapist. I mean, that's something that we talk about in the black community as well. We are our own therapist, or we
But
go
check
to
it
Christ,
though.
or
Check
you know
it
what I'm
though.
saying,
I'ma be-
whatever.
look, you saying that is the most oddest thing ever because I was actually going to move the conversation forward and I was going to ask you about that. First off, before we get to that point, you know what I'm saying? I do want to do this, you know what I'm saying? Y'all seen me on my channel.
Oh,
It's your boy Kozzie. I got my guy Johnny Bravo with me right here.
Let me get the
You
real.
know
That
what
was
I'm
the
saying?
old moniker. This is
Okay.
It is what it is.
My
Nah,
B.
It's your boy Quadir, man. It's Mr.
Quadir.
I Say You're.
Bruh.
You know what I mean? And it's all good, but it's first time out here, first time in front of the cameras, but I think it's still one of those things where I'm reluctant because I'm a behind the scenes type of dude, but
Right.
just to wrap up the intros, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, but nah though, like, y'all seen me, man. This is my guy. You know what I mean? We bought Charlene real hard. You know what I'm saying? It was a little heavy. You know what I mean? But and I do realize like my guy's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a chill behind the scene person too. But this is something that I've been embarking on. You know what I mean? And it's something that I want to, and you know, I want to dive deep into it. You know what I mean? And
why not?
you know, like I mentioned to you before, when I called you, I felt like it was a good yin and yang.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I mean, we chopped it up. We chopped it up.
We
I
always
mean,
talk,
yeah.
it goes there. Whenever
I'll
we
go
talk.
ahead and throw it out there. Me and this brother, we used to work together in you know what I'm saying, in a medical facility, at Allied Health, in the Allied Health field or whatever.
Yes.
And it's been times where we was on third shift, and it's just me and him. We sit down, just kind of chopping
and
it up.
It goes there.
It's like, yo, you go ahead, get you a couple winks. I'm gonna keep a lookout.
Believe it.
And in the meantime, you know, we chopping it up. So, but to me, that was just every now and again, life has brought independent thinkers and strong-minded brothers in and out of my life, and I've always kept some connection due to, you know, social media and having people's numbers. 'Cause I've changed my numbers, but people might reconnect with me on social media, and I'm not really active on all that. But they'll, yo, I ain't seen you in a minute. What's going on? And whatever, yo, I need to get back up with you, and we'll talk, and we'll pick up right where we left off. But you know, I think that's just like they say. What's the old? You're gonna hear me say certain things that are kind of like catchphrasy. I don't know what they call, but like game recognized game, right? You can run into a young brother. He might be 25, but
he got that old.
He got that old. You
spirit.
notice he was soaking up the game. That's all it is. He was around some brothers.
And he listened.
Realistically soaked
speaking,
up
that's
the
really
game.
what it
That's
is.
all it was.
Listen,
He was able to be quiet and listen.
Yeah.
And take it in and apply it.
Right.
So
I mean, bro, I always say this though, for real. Like, one of my monikers in life is this: if I'm the smartest person in the room, I leave.
Why? That's crazy.
I don't want to be the smart. How can I learn anything?
It's not about learning. Sometimes you gotta pass the torch.
Yeah. Yo, Minority Report. My guy Quadir.
Yep.
KO. Yeah, I mean, but
I say
this is the thing I wanted to say. What?
It's Mr. I Say You're.
Yo, two things. I can't even speak on what I'm about to speak on without addressing this. So, I always open up the show and be like, yeah. But I was just recently told that was an up top thing.
Yeah, man. It was.
I didn't know.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's always been like a Jersey thing.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? But we so close. It's been a North Jersey thing as long as I've known. And like I said, I'm born in '83, so as long as I known it was just something that you heard. I mean, if you go back, for those who want to do the science, if you go back to the Outlaws, they from around the way, North New Jersey. Pac came, scooped them brothers up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you listen to the song Hail Mary, when it first come on, run with me. You listen in the back, all you hear is you in the background, very lightly. But that's cause all them outlaw boys is from the hood, and that's
Right.
all you hear all day. That's the call. If the call is actually it's not you, it's air. And so, but you know what I mean. God rest.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a country man.
Nah, it's going everything.
North.
It's not, you're not impersonating, because it's nothing like we all. Here's the thing. First of all, we all lost tribes of Africa, meaning we
That's
all
true.
come
That's
from
true.
different tribes,
You know what I mean?
and we had to come, and we were forced together to create a new. Right? And then here it is, we trying to divide, or they're trying to divide us again. We was already divided. We came together. That's how African American, which is called African American culture now, even
Right.
exists, because it's a mix of so many different tribes. We would meet people we didn't even know we was probably at war with back in the motherland. But
True.
now it's a survival game, because they whipping all of our backs. They
Yeah.
killing all of us.
I
They
mean,
don't
it's
care.
it's the capitalism aspect of things, you know what I mean? Kind of just touching on what you spoke on earlier, you know what I'm saying? When certain people see you how you came and you work your way up,
Right.
they see skin color
Right.
and they think, oh, he relate to me. You know what I mean? They
But it's
look at
layers to
blacks as a monolith.
Yeah.
And yeah, I may relate to you in a certain way, but you gotta respect my work ethic, you know what I'm saying, my
Right.
pride, my integrity that I took when I decided to take on this responsibility to put myself here.
And that's
don't
it.
think you can come in the doors here
Yeah.
and we're the same
Right.
just because we look the same.
Right. Well,
You know what I'm saying?
even with that, even if you come in and you have that frame of mind, be open enough to learn, because I think sometimes it's nobody's.
I'm gonna let you finish that, but I definitely had some things I wanted to say.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. I just feel like even if you're the top man, meaning you're the person in the position, you not only took that position, or you not only rose, but as you gain, with knowledge comes power, and with power comes responsibility. So it's up to
Right.
you to drop that knowledge back down. Like, listen, young bud, I ain't get this shit overnight. Listen, cuz, listen, whatever, right? I ain't get this information overnight, so this is how I got it. If you really want to get it, I know you kind of just, I perceive it and know what it is. You really kind of just trying to test the waters and check the climate and the temperature, but you got to be careful about that too, because you test the wrong person and it could go sideways. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
Real
sure.
quick. So, but if from the bottom up, it's like, yo, if you don't know nothing, be humble, be quiet, try to get you some game, try to get you some information, get you some knowledge and some wisdom and some understanding, and add value to yourself, so when you step to the table, you can say, boom, this is what I got. Everything, all your value don't have to be tangible. It don't always have to be money. You can come with the plan, you can come with the vision, you can come with the execution. There's so many things that go into a master plan,
Right.
that's far beyond what your pockets could carry.
Yeah.
And
I mean, ultimately,
I'ma leave it
I
there.
just feel like because we're in a capitalistic society,
Right.
it goes to the pockets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's how we
But,
program.
you know,
We didn't come from that though.
right.
That's
And
not our
outside of that,
essence.
it's like, even if you look at the whole political aspect of the country that we live in right now,
Mm-hmm.
these people I ain't gonna say they rich or they wealthy, but they well off.
Mm-hmm.
They pockets is lined up looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But here, mentally, heart, spiritually, bro, they empty.
Yeah, we don't know what they
You know
have.
what I'm saying? They
We
empty.
don't know what that cost though. We don't know
Right.
what they
You know what I'm
paid
saying?
in order
But
to get to that.
Before I get too far,
Yeah,
off
yeah,
topic,
let's
you know
kick
what
it back
I'm saying?
on.
I had two things I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to say to you. First thing is about to blow your mind, like
Alright.
for real, for real. Do you know what Quadir means?
Of course I do, man. My grandmother gave me that name. God bless her soul. And she rests in heaven, as I feel like she is, looking across up and down and around, because I think, you know, to me, heaven is a mind state, and so I feel like she's, you know, if you could go to watch movies and think that these movies come from somebody's imagination,
Right.
and these imaginations come from a person that was created in the image of the Most High. So if he gave you the power of imagination, just imagine what is really real. If he just giving you a little glimpse, little one eye open up on what's going on. But I'm getting off topic. At the end of the day,
the reason why I asked that though,
yeah,
was because I said that my next child that I birth,
really, don't go there. Don't say
her
that.
middle
Man.
name would be Quadir.
Oh, okay, because it's tatted on my nephew. I'm gonna go see him tomorrow.
Because my initials are DQD.
Okay,
All of my children's initials are DQD.
got you.
So my next child initials will be
DQD.
DQD.
Gotcha.
And if it boy or girl,
It'll still
it'll
be.
probably be a girl.
Yeah, it's actually pronounced Quadir. It's not Quadir.
Quadir.
It's Quadir. It's spelled, you know, in the black community. We don't play that silent letter again. We don't really like
So
letters to
I
be
wanted
silent.
to spell it
Qudir, which is Quadir. Because if you think of the Q that gives you a K sound. Don't make me bring my daughter over here. Gives you the K sound. Q is a K. It's not a qua. As we say quick, but the qua is from the U. It's the just the Q itself is just
I've
Cuh.
never got into the sound effects.
yeah, linguistics.
aspect of
Yeah,
it, but
if
I
you
get it.
yeah, look,
You
it's
know
just
what I mean?
linguistics. It's the same thing you teach your kids when you teach them how to learn and read. You teaching them
Sound it
linguistics.
out.
Sound it out, right?
I
So
get that
the
too.
Q is the K, you got the A is the D is the D, the I is the ear, the E is the E sound with the I, and then the R is so it's Quadir. And it took an Arabic brother to kind of break that down, like, it's pronounced Quadir, not, you don't pronounce the U. That was a trend. That's like when we got over here, when we said the name, they inserted, like a lot of people through Ellis Island, but way before Ellis Island, when people was transitioning to America, they was like, well, we don't really have a word for that, so we're gonna put this in there.
Okay. I dig
But
it,
it's
I dig that.
but in the hood, cause we come up, whatever
How
we
we
know
come
it is.
up.
It's Quadir. We pronouncing everything, every letter we
Right.
see. So it's Q-U-A. Even with the Q-U-A, the U is silent. It's really Quadir. But I don't say just because I know I came up saying it a certain way. When I usually address myself, I usually, based off of habit, will say Qua. But depending on who I'm talking to, I most definitely will be like, it's Quadir. So for the
Right,
record, it's
right.
Quadir. And I might start I'm going forward. I'm probably going. You see me again on the We Up. You know what I'm saying? Oops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On the We Up, it'll be Quadir. Your boy, Mr. I Say Yer. You know what I'm saying? But
He's Mr. I Say Yer.
Mr. I
I've been
Say
saying Yer
Hey.
since I started doing this thing.
hey,
but you
that's
know
what's
what
up.
though?
I'm gonna be an A-Year
It's all
fan.
love. You know what I
A-Year.
mean?
You know what I'm saying? It's good.
We gonna do what we do. You
We
know what I'm
gonna do what we
saying?
do.
Second thing though, for real, I wanted to touch on this, man. You know what I mean? Before we wrap this thing up, because I just feel like, this has been a dope introduction.
Mhm.
We've been having like great conversation. You know what I'm saying? I want to run it past them again. This is a Minority Report. We doing things a little different. We switching it up. It's always we up you, but we branching out. But one of the things I wanted to touch on, man, and I wanted to tell you this specifically face to face, right? And I don't even know if you had this thought or this idea, but I was like, and this is just how my mind worked. After me and you had our conversation about the idea of doing this, I was wondering if he was like, what makes him reach out to me in regards to this particular matter?
Initially, just because I'm a cautious / paranoid / I don't with people.
The people exactly
in general.
But I wanted to touch on that before we get off, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a flawed man, but I consider myself a stand-up guy, right?
Right.
One of the conversations, bro, that we had years ago,
Okay, talk your shit.
pertaining to being a man and responsibility, accountability, accepting our decisions when we know we made a bad decision.
Yeah.
When we were talking, And if this is too much, you can cut me off at any time.
Go ahead, say your shit, man.
But
man, the truth is gonna reveal itself.
You were in a situation where you had to step up in a dad role that was unexpected.
Oh yeah.
And when you went to go file a certain type of paperwork,
boy, you the one that set everything in motion, and I was like,
it
man,
was a novel when you got there.
Why I listen to this dude?
And it turned out, hey brother, it turned out to be
to this day. I'm like, man,
a pamphlet by the time you were done with it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it $1,000 because I was moving in the landscape that was unknown to me. You know what I'm saying? As far as
I mean, we all were, bro. Like I told you before, there's no manual.
You was like, yo, you might want to start now, not later, because I'm thinking I'm gonna wait to see about 6 to 8 or whatever. But you was like, no. The way the system is set up, I've been there, I've done that.
When you because I know, bro, the type of people we are, we're gonna go here,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Quit.
So you start here,
yeah.
It's more here,
right?
Versus when you start here,
right.
could possibly stay here.
Yeah. So when I went and did all that paperwork, it was a trade-off because what I traded off was the jumping through the hoops. It would be like, oh, you know, if you wanna get more time, just one-on-one time, which I wasn't getting at the time, period.
Right.
Just as that being a negotiation piece, I need to be present. Like, well, why do you need to be present when you got people in and out and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, the minute I went ahead and pushed that paperwork as far as just enforcing my natural, this is the part, like, forget what's a court, like, what's any of that. Just my natural, we ain't had no problems on, you know what I mean? I was there to cut the umbilical. I was there, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I got so much. My situation, and we'll get into my situation, but my situation is so unique and not at the same time, which is definitely an oxymoron. But just once I did that, it was like I gave up the keys because, you know.
That's something you regret at this point?
I don't regret it. I just realized I would have probably I would have gone into the situation a little bit differently. Don't regret it, right, at all, because time was the essence, and I think that's why I don't regret it, because I was being rocked to sleep. Like, I'm over here just kind of like, oh, it'll be all right. No, it's not.
I've been rocked to sleep for 6 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've been rocked to sleep, and then next thing you know, you turn around, your kid's 16, and that's not what I was going to wait for. So I jumped on that at 4 months. And then when I jumped on that at 4 months, I was able to just say, hey, this is what's established. Since I'm not getting no time unless you're a part of the picture, which you were never a part of the picture, but you pulled me into a narrative that you painted. Cool, I'm gonna play my position as a character, but it's not your narrative. You still painting your narrative, but that's the difference between a Hollywood movie and a documentary. You got truth and you got based on true events. Yeah. So
hold on, run that back one more time.
So
please say that one more time.
You got a documentary which is truth. We looking at it. This is what happened. This is
facts.
This person doing what they doing at the time. And we recording it. We can document it.
Right.
Versus
scene by scene.
Not even that. It'd be a story written by a person that used to hang with the person. You don't even, and come to find out that person wasn't even a best friend, related, or
to
none
the
of that.
person who the whole story's about.
Listen, this movie and this motion picture you about to see is based on true events. But
come on, man.
We had to add a lot of fuck shit
just to make it look like something.
To make it
look like something.
You want to entertain the people, and so that's kind of like, you can paint your narrative. You can be on Facebook. I'm gonna tell you this one piece, and this is sad. I'm gonna leave it alone. When I left working third shift, I got a call. Yo, we can't get in contact with, you know what I mean? And so, boom. I'm blowing up the phone. I don't know what's going on. Come to find out, they on the way. They going to the hospital. Cool. Because the blood pressure was too high. So I jumped in the whip, and I was driving a wagon. Like, I was driving I ain't even going to get into what I was driving, but I skate to the hospital, and I make it in the room time enough. I still got my work clothes on, 12 hours worth of sweat on me.
Dirty khakis in the blue tee.
Khakis in the blue tee. You know what it is.
Khakis in the blue tee.
Yeah, we don't work at Walmart.
Nah,
So
it
this is
ain't
a hospital.
Walmart.
This is a
Yeah,
hospital.
this is
This
real
is
life
a
work, yo.
hospital.
We was trying to say the
Yeah,
future.
we was trying to say the future. So we're working in the hospital, and so when I get in there, you know, I get into the room. But the wild part, that the point that I'm trying to make is that I'm so focused on this life, this change of my life, this transition of life, this blessing to my life.
Right.
And I'm there, cut the umbilical cord, and not only was the maternal side of the game, both the elder and the actual participant in the birth giving, I didn't even think this. I know women are strong, because you push a whole entity out of your body.
Oh yeah, you create
And
life.
Hold on, you push it. This is what happened. You push the whole entity out your body. I'm there, cut the jaw, and then the first thing you do is grab your phone before you grab your child to post on the book. And your maternal does the same thing. So I got grandmama and the John, both. I'm cutting
Active.
both active on the book, and it's me and the nurse. I done cut the umbilical cord, and it's me and the nurse looking at each other, and they like, the nurse. This is a Caucasoid nurse. Like, what's wrong with y'all? And I'm just sitting here like, what? But I'm gonna leave it there. So
Being in the moment.
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
And they
yeah.
right, they not in the moment. You so busy on trying to document.
That's other people.
Right, you
trying to
could.
document.
I don't even know what
story.
they wasn't
I don't even
recording.
want to say document.
That's what I'm saying. You just went from crying and hollering, and as soon as the joint came out, first thing,
I gotta tell somebody.
I gotta tell somebody. It wasn't to let me hold and bond. It was thumb action.
The most important part.
The first important part. So I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean,
Nah,
I'm
I'ma be honest with you,
I just
brother.
feel like that was
Brother
wild
to
to me.
brother.
I think that was wild.
Brother to brother. Nah.
Yeah, I feel like it was wild.
And I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yeah.
But again, you know what I mean? Look, man, we ain't gonna talk y'all heads off. You know what I'm saying? This is one of many. Kozzie, Quadir,
Yeah.
the Minority Report. You dig?
Let's get it.
More to come. Stay tuned. Salute.
We out.